Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again, moment, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Are you familiar with Nick Fuentes? They say that he is a neo-Nazi. And it appears that every time I hear him speak, whether it's on television or some radio, he's always talking about killing. He's always talking about murder. He's always talking about hate. Killing and hate of people who are not white-blooded. That includes black people and any people of color, Jews, or anyone that is not what he considers pure blood white. He makes it seem as if pure blood white is something special, when the reality of it is he does set it out as something special, as the most evil force on the face of the earth. Killing. That is the solution to evil's problem. Kill everything that you don't like. And you really can't get upset with him. He represents his background. He represents what he has been taught. But not only that, he represents the millions and millions, perhaps billions of people who think the same way. And my friends, it was simply because that's the way they were taught. This is the way we've had wars. This is how we've had poverty. This is how we've had slavery. All of these ugly things exist at the hands of those who think that it gives them power. But understanding that there are many people, even white, who have not had that particular education. And many of them do not stand with Nick. However, many of them keep their mouths closed when it comes down to doing something about it, even though at times they do speak out against it. But when the metal meets the road, they stand, and these kinds of things continue to exist. I see this as one of the main reasons why I am alive today. You see, I don't represent black people's ideology, even though they say that Jesus, supposedly God's son, was black. Even though they say God chose the black people to be the first people and the mother or parent of the people of the earth. Doesn't mean anything to me when it comes down to what is proper, when it comes down to what's nice and kind and loving. You see, my purpose here on earth is to remind everybody that there is a God who is responsible for all existence. And God doesn't need any hand from a white person or a black person, a man or a woman, or straight or gay, to go out killing folks in God's name. All of the earthquakes, the natural disasters, I'll just refer to them as that. Not only that, the interruption with your functions that can take you out in a matter of a second, which God has control over. And if God wants somebody dead, God can take care of his deadness. But for a white man to say, I need to help God. I need to help God. God wants to bless. I've heard him say God wants to bless my country, but God needs help. And so in God's name, I will join with all of those like them or like themselves or like Nick, and we will kill anybody we feel that God wants us to kill. Now, this is not just people using the expression God. These are people who are religious. These are people who teach other people about God as they understand it. And they're talking about annihilation of people, killing people, as if, again, God needs them. God doesn't know what to do, so they will take up the banner and go take care of God's business. This is what I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen. When you hear that kind of stuff, and many of you will believe me and many of you won't. When you hear that kind of stuff, it is of evil. It is of the anti-God. It is men listening to men. Perfect example, Donald Trump, the mega group, the Republicans within the American process of political process. The United States House of Representatives. People who just refuse to raise their hand up to even acknowledge that they understand what righteousness is. Many of them still in the Senate. And that doesn't stop there. It's right there in the Supreme Court, the God of the earth, well, not the God of the earth, but the God of America, filled with that hate, filled with that racism, filled with that idea that they got to take care of God's business. They want to control women's body and say, you cannot, even for your own health, protect yourself if it means that you got to kill a baby in your womb. They'll say that and turn right around and walk down the streets with guns and knives, ready to kill any baby that's black, ready to kill any parent that's black, ready to kill all of it. But they just told you, you cannot kill because they are such loving people. All of that, ladies and gentlemen, fake lies, what they call alternative truths, which is, again, a lie. But the message that I want to tell you, I heard somewhere that there's roughly about 8 billion people on Earth, maybe a few more. But I want to stretch it and say, if there were 10 billion people on this earth today, every last one of them would be here on this earth because God said it was okay. And when God said it's okay, that means that God has prepared that every last one of those people on this earth can live as though they are in heaven without having to suffer for anything. That even means Nick, that means Donald Trump, that means the mega group, that means the Republicans, that means any hateful group on the face of the earth. God has made it possible that if they are on this face of this earth, they can live as though they are in heaven, meaning that they don't have to kill. God don't need you to kill. You can live in peace. You can be prosperous and free. You can be joyous and happy and live your dreams. 10 billion people I talk to you tonight. I'm telling you that every last one of you can make sure and guarantee that your needs, your wants, and your desires are met, and it doesn't cost you one penny. You are not obligated beyond what God has designed to anyone beyond that. And how did God design it? Well, he made sure that the resources necessary to prepare for the ideas of 10 billion people, the resources are made available on the earth, in the earth, above the earth, seen and unseen. God, not white people, not Nick and the folks that he's lying to you about, not black people or a black Jesus or black people who are the parents of the earth. No, it is God. And what role do you play in this heavenly life? Thy will be done on earth. God requires that, first of all, you engage yourself in the process. In other words, you come to this earth, you benefit from this earth, so you give something back. And he made it possible that what you give back is in a career, a job, something that you choose that gives you the greatest joy. And it doesn't have to be basketball. It doesn't have to be singing and dancing where you have to go and kiss somebody's butt in order to get that money so you can live a wonderful life that other people cannot live. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, a career, a job that you love will allow you to be a part of the creative process. That you, my friends, are the parents of one another. You are the family. You are looking after one another without having to kill, without having to lie, without having to cheat, without having to steal, without being a racist, without being a hater, without being a bigot, without committing crime, without being living in poverty. All of that. Now, I tell you about this God. This God is invisible. That means basically that you draw on achieving and being accomplished in this heavenly thing by going outside of some prejudiced person, some racist bigot. You don't have to listen to them. You, my friends, every last 10 billion of you can reach out with the same kind of a fortitude that one has, we all do. And that same power that created the earth, that same power that made the rivers, the valleys, the seas, the trees, the birds, the fish, and you, can make sure that if you're following these principles, they're not just going to happen. You're not going to walk around there talking about you are white or black. You're not going to walk around talking about you the smartest and you are more deserving than anybody else and carry forward this kind of lifestyle that I'm telling you about. No, the only thing you're going to get from that is more hell. So, rather than allow you to just drown in the hell that Donald Trump and the mega folks are trying to introduce you to in America today, I want you to know that God, and I'm not talking about this God that you have to pay to get a benefit from. No, this God doesn't charge you anything except that you make a decision that you want to live, even if it means you got to change the way of thinking. If you have to renew your mind and engage yourself in a process where the outcome is the things that I've just described to you. Now, I'll share some information with you, and you should research it if you want. But if you don't, that's on you. But I want to say to every last one of you who hear my voice, you listen and practice the things that I'm sharing with you. And I'm not even referring you to the Bible. You can go to the Bible if you want to. But if you open up that Bible and see a white person's face in there, you should close that book back up. In fact, if you open up that book and see a black person's face, you should close that book back up and listen to the Spirit of God. Because if you got a white person's face in that book or a black person's face in that book is corrupt. Doesn't mean that there isn't some truth in it. It just means that man has put his hand on it and it is as corrupt as it can possibly be. It is corrupt as the Constitution of any nation. It is corrupt as any human being can make it be. And you want to put in a Constitution? You want to put in a song? Man, you talking about somebody really stepping on God, huh? Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so very much. I was trying to get some sleep, but it just seems that you need so much help. And I can't force you. I'm not a killer. If Fuentes could do something, like if he can kill you on the one hand, if there's another action that he could take that would make your life be complete, would he do it? Heck no. That's not what they are about. And the only one that can do that is you, individually and collectively, abiding to a basic principle that gives God the power, that you allow your own life to influence you to respect and love others as if you love yourself, as a way of loving God. And the outcome will be heavenliness on earth. Take it for what it's worth, ladies and gentlemen. It just might save America. Until next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying goodbye for now.